be talking about why marijuana should be allowed in pro sports. The things I'm going to talk about is the reasons that it's safer than opioids, how it can help an injured player, and also that why it shouldn't be banned because of the places that teams are located. So the first thing is it's safer than opioids. It's widely known that lots of professional athletes abuse opioids because they constantly have to deal with the pain and stress that's put on their body. So they come up with a way to prevent that, and instead of just letting their body heal themselves, they perform at such a high level, and they unfortunately abuse opioids because of that. In a study done, it was marijuana is 114 times safer than alcohol, and there has never been any injuries or any kind of abuse because of that. The other drug addictions that professional athletes, especially in baseball, go through is they'll abuse drugs such as human growth hormone, which you already have in your body, and it helps your muscles build faster, and lots of athletes are caught injecting that into their body to build their muscles quicker and recover from injury even faster. And the other thing that's a little more popular that they abuse is steroids, and everybody knows that baseball players have abused steroids just to increase their strength and be able to hit the ball farther. They think that if it was regulated in professional sports, that athletes wouldn't be tempted to go to these specific drugs, and that they would be able to just perform at the high level, and it would help their body recover naturally. So in 2010, there were 650 players that were surveyed from the NFL, and 52% of them admitted that they took opioids to prevent them from, fix any kind of injury that they had on the field and help their body recover faster. Another reason that marijuana should be allowed in professional sports is because that the fans do support it. A survey was done, and they said that 89% of fans either supported it or were not against it, and they wanted to see whether it would help the players, or some of the players that previously have ruined their career based on being suspended because of marijuana use. We never know what their career could have entailed or what they could have done. Players like this, the most popular one is probably Josh Gordon. He was an NFL player. He played for the Browns, and he's been suspended for marijuana abuse 4 different times, and he's one of the best athletes in the NFL ever, and we never know what he could have done or how he could have been, because he's been suspended for 4 seasons. So the second thing I'm going to talk about is how it can help an injured player. It's widely known in the medical field that cannabis can help injured players, and it helps their body heal faster, and we never know, it could help them mentally and come back from an injury much quicker. So over 23,000 medical papers have been published on the positive effects of cannabis, and not a single one has been published on the negative effects of an athlete in using it. Like I said before, it could help with the strain that they put on their body. I know an NFL player has constantly put strain on their body, and they go through many different things to help, like cupping and an ice bath and all opioid addiction like I talked about before. And I think with the legalization of marijuana, it could prevent all of that. The other thing is that many doctors and law enforcement do support it. They think that there's no harm that can be done by allowing these professional athletes to try it, and it realistically is just hindering it, because we don't know if there would be a positive effect on these athletes or The last thing I'm going to talk about is where the teams are located. So there's professional teams all over the country, and as we know now, there's places in the country where marijuana is legal, like California, Colorado, DC. All of these professional teams, like the Nationals and the Mariners and the Dodgers, have to play in an environment where marijuana is legal in the place they live, but they can't use it because they play in a professional sport, which doesn't make much sense. The other thing is that the NHL has already outlawed it. You're allowed to smoke marijuana or use it in any way if you feel that it will benefit you. And because of that, many of the players can come back quicker, and there's been studies done that have showed that they recover from injuries and other things much faster. Another thing associated with why I think it should be outlawed or allowed in professional sports is because of the ridiculous fines and suspensions that are imposed on these players. I know in Major League Baseball, the first time you're caught with it, it's up to a $50,000 fine, which many people don't think is a lot for a professional athlete, but for just a random athlete, it could be a lot of money for them. And the other thing, like I said before, is it short-lives their career, and we don't know what or how it could have benefited them. And the last thing is that these frequent offenders that get caught, they keep getting tested more and more, and the more that they get caught, the more they get tested, the more they get fined, and the more they get suspended. So to wrap it all up, I think that marijuana should be allowed in professional sports because we just don't know whether it would impose a negative or do anything negative to those athletes that would use it. It could, for all we know, it could help them come back faster, stronger, and better. And I think that there's many reasons on why it should be allowed.